Well, here I would like to share my journey to the field of physical activity and health. As you know, I'm currently associate professor at school kinesiology. I'm also the director of the physical activity epidemiology lab here on campus. Um, Here is my educational background. I obtained my bachelor degree in physical education from Hula-Norma University in 1996 and my master degree in physical education teaching and coaching from Beijing Sports University in 1999. Then I obtained my PhD in physical education pedagogy in 2007. As you can see, I have a background in physical education for all of my degrees. Then you may wonder how I end up in the field of physical activity and health today. After graduation from Louisiana State University, I successfully landed at the University of Utah for my first faculty position job. At that time, my special emphasis is still in physical education pedagogy, or we call sports pedagogy. So basically, I trained the physical education teachers for the public schools and trained the doctoral students to serve as the faculty members at the universities. I worked there for 3 years, and in 2010, there was a great opportunity from Texas Tech University. This position offered me with more academic freedom and flexibilities. In particular, I was able to exercise psychology and health as well as physical education pedagogy. So I took the job and stayed there for 2 years and taught different courses, including exercise psychology and physical activity and health, as well as research methods in kinesiology. In 2012, there was great opportunity from University of Minnesota, so I applied and fortunately I secured this position. So I came to Minneapolis, established the physical activity epidemiology lab. We also established the PhD, Master and MED program in physical activity and health. I'll talk more about that later on. So here is what I do. My research interests include, but not limited to, the physical activity interventions with application of modern technologies such as activity games, virtual reality, smartphone apps, health wearables. We also do the descriptive or observation studies to examine the correlates and determinants of physical activity behavior among different populations. In the past 10 years, I have applied a variety of emerging technologies in health and physical activity promotion. In particular, I used activity games for the intervention among children and adults. In the past 10 years, we also used the smartphone apps, online social media, virtual reality, augmented reality games, as well as the health wearables like a smartwatch in our research projects. So I teamed with my research assistant, PhD students, and worked on a book. The book titled Technology in Physical Activity and Health Promotion. It was published last May with a famous publisher in UK, the Routledge Publishing House. Some chapters, as you can see here, we included online social media, the mobile device apps, GPS, GIS, wearable physical activity monitoring devices, activity games, and physical activity, virtual reality, and so on. Here I would like to briefly share some research project with you. The first project is regarding X-gaming in physical education. This study was funded by AFERD, an external organization, in 2008. The major purpose of the study was to examine the effects of three curricular activities on students: situational motivation, identified regulation, external regulation, and motivation, as well as students' physical activity levels. So in this study, we worked with 412 middle school kids. We offered three teaching contents in their physical education classes. Those contents were cardiovascular fitness, ultimate football, and dance revolution. The outcome variables were physical activity levels and situational motivation. We found that the students spend a significantly higher percentage of time in moderate to vigorous physical activity in fitness and football classes than they did in dance revolution class. Students reported a high intrinsic motivation and identified regulation toward fitness than dance revolution. They also scored significantly lower a motivation toward fitness than football and dance revolution. This paper was published in Research Quality for Exercise and Sports in 2011. And the second project was conducted in after-school program. In particular, this study was designed to examine the effects of different levels of goal specificity and goal difficulty on Latino children's performance and the physical activity levels in an after-school dance revolution program. The participants were 98 first through 6th grade Latino children. We conducted a baseline measurement, or the pretest. The participants were then randomly assigned into one of the three goal-setting conditions: easy goals, difficult goals, and do your best goals. Then the intervention lasted for 8 weeks, and we assessed the outcomes again. The outcome measures were children's physical activity level assessed by pedometers and their performance scores. We found that children who set specific goals, including easy goals or difficult goals, had significantly greater increased physical activity levels and dance revolution performance than those in the Do Your Best group. Additionally, children increased the physical activity levels in difficult goal group was significantly higher than those in the easy goal group. So the take-home message here is that when we work with school children, we want to help them set very specific goals, and ideally set the relative difficult goals to help them to be successful. This project was published in a high-tier peer-reviewed professional journal. In 2009, I received a research grant from Robert Wood Johnson Foundation to conduct a project GAME. GAME stands for Gaming Approaches for More Exercise. The study aims were to examine the impact of active dance game-based exercise on students' health-related physical fitness and academic performance. And second aim was to explore children's experience with active dance game-based exercise program. This project was published in American Journal of Preventive Medicine. In this project, we recruited 268 third through fifth graders, and the study was conducted from 2009 through 2011. And the attrition rate is about 20% every year. So in the last year, we had about 165 kids. The major findings was that implementing a structured dance revolution exercise program could have a significantly positive effect on urban Latino children's 1-mile run mass grades over time. And second, intervention participation increased children's perceptions that they could run fast, lose weight, be energetic, and perform better in school. In terms of the project policy implications, we also implement the Dance Dance Revolution program for the children in the fall of 2009 at a public charter school, Early Light Academy School in the state of Utah. Then in the spring of 2010, the teachers from the Hawthorne Elementary School at Salt Lake City reached out to me and requested us to offer such program at their schools. So we offered the Dance Dance Revolution program for all the 4th, 5th, and 6th grade children in the spring of 2010. But I left Salt Lake City in 2010, so we had to pull out all the equipment and terminate the program. Before we left, all the kids and teachers wrote all kinds of thank you notes to us. As you can see on this slide, we showed two thank you cards from the students. I stayed in Texas for 2 years, and I worked with 3 elementary schools to implement the school-based physical activity interventions there. I also worked with a group of Texas homeschool kids. After I moved to Minneapolis, I established 2 X gaming lab, or 2 active video game lab, at Ann Sullivan Elementary School and the Laurel Elementary School. Recently, we are working with Artwork Academy, a public charter school in Colton Valley. We are trying to establish another lab at that charter school. And in 2012, I received a federal grant from National Institute of Health. This project was to examine the impact of interactive video games on underserved children's health. The major purpose was to examine the impact of the active video games on children's physical activity levels, motor skills, perceived competence, and health related to physical fitness, as well as the gender effect for those outcome variables. And so far, we published 4 papers from this project. So as you can see, this is a recent publication last year in a peer-reviewed journal.